What up, YouTube? BrokeFarmer back for another video on this beautiful day, y'all. And have you ever wondered what's the best potting soil to use? Have you? Well, it got a lot to do with the ingredients in your potting soil. Have you ever checked the ingredients? No? You clicked on the right video. Stay tuned. All right, so and doing this research, it's only a few potting soils that I use because different places you live got different potting soils. So I kind of based it off the most normal. The cheapest at Lowe's is Evergreen. You got Stay Green potting soil. You got Kellogg potting soil and Miracle-Gro. I think that's pretty average of everybody who garden. Those are the most seen potting soil. So we're gonna start right there with Evergreen, some of the cheapest potting soil you can ever buy. And it's only got 3 ingredients: hardwood fines, perlite, and pine fines. Now that's summed up in hardwood fines are just hardwood mulch that broke down, composted. Pine fines are the same thing. Pine that just broke down and composted down, and perlite. Perlite is used for aerating the soil, keeping the soil from being compact. That is all that's in Evergreen, y'all. That is all. Now, I'm not saying Evergreen is bad soil, because soil is based off what you can afford, if you want to be honest with it. So Evergreen is the bottom basement of soil, and those are your 3 ingredients. Now, Stay Green, and I got my notes over here if you see me look to the side. Stay Green has forest products, pine bark, peat moss, perlite, wetting agent, ground dolomite, limestone, and rice hulls. So let's go through the ingredients. All right, so I want to go over the ones that we're not familiar with. Forest products. Now, I've looked at this forest product on the ingredients. I always wondered what it was. It's from a couple different things. It's fines from arborist, recycled wood, bark, and timber leftover that been finely grinded down and put in your soil. It's kind of what we thought it was, but now we know for sure. Pine bark, we all know what pine bark is. Peat moss, I think we all know what peat moss is. Perlite, we just talked about perlite. Ground dolomite. All right, so ground dolomite is crushed limestone. It raises the soil pH. It has calcium and magnesium in it, and it improves nutrient absorption. That's a good thing to have in there. All right, that wetting agent, it evenly distributes water to the roots. It lets the water penetrate through. It's kind of like the name says, wetting agent. It's an agent that helps the soil allow the water to penetrate through so your roots can get water and get hydrated. Pretty good thing. All right, so the rice hulls that's in that potting soil, it's an alternative to vermiculite and perlite, but it does basically the same thing. Yeah, it aerates the soil. Same thing as perlite. It's just a perlite alternative. That's all it is. Rice hulls, and it's the hulls of rice. Now this next one is Miracle-Gro. Forest products, peat moss, cocoa core, perlite, fertilizer, compost, wetting agent. It's not that spectacular. It's not a miracle. Just normal stuff. Forest product, we just talked about that. Peat moss, we all know what that is. Cocoa coir, perlite, fertilizer, compost, and a wetting agent. That is all that's in Miracle-Gro. I'm not that impressed with it. I thought it was a lot more, but when you do the research, you find out a lot of stuff you didn't know. For the people who have a Home Depot, Kellogg's brand is sold at Home Depot. It has forest products, ground dolomite, poultry manure, kelp meal, bat guano, perlite, worm casting, sand, peat moss, fertilizer, and limestone. Now we talked about forest products, ground dolomite already, poultry manure, chicken boo-boo, which has NPK in it. If you ever use chicken manure in your garden, you know chicken manure is very healthy for your garden. Very healthy. So that is a good thing in there. All right. Kelp meal is just dried seaweed. It has micro and macronutrients in it. Awesome thing from your soil. Macro and micronutrients. We always talk about NPK. Those are your macronutrients. But it's a lot of micronutrients that your soil need in small amounts. Do some Google research on that. You might realize that your soil needs a whole bunch more than we think it needs, but in small amounts. That's why it's called micronutrients. Now, let's get to the bat guano. Bat guano is bat manure, which was found, first off, who thought to try bat manure in their garden? Let's start there. Whatever the reason, they did it. Bat guano is very good for your soil. That is a nice add into it. Worm casting is worm boo-boo. Worm boo-boo. I don't know how to fix that up. Also very healthy for your soil. A lot of manure, good for your soil. It also has sand in it to help that soil from, a lot of these things in there are just to keep the soil from compacting, keep the soil aerated, and keep the water moving through, because everybody knows once that soil gets hard, it doesn't let water or fertilizer get to the roots. So no matter how much you water, fertilizer, you're just wasting water and fertilizer. So that's a good thing for it. Peat moss, fertilizer, and limestone. If you can buy just one potting soil, according to this, it should be Kellogg's. I thought when I first started this, Miracle-Gro would have been the best. It is not. It is not. So everybody who's saying all potting soil is the same, shut up. It is not all the same. Do your research. Don't just listen to me, some guy in the greenhouse talking about potting soil. Do your own research. But from my research, Kellogg's is the best potting soil you can buy. Now, why is this so important? Why can't I just go and just get that Evergreen cheap potting soil? I'm gonna show you why. All right, a lot of those pine fines I was talking about, it's not broken down. So you really don't want that much of that in there. You want that stuff broken down. I'm starting to find that the cheaper the soil, the less the stuff in the soil mix is broken down, and it takes a while for your plants to be able to use it. Also, compaction. It was a lot of things in those ingredients that was just for compaction. If that soil is compacted, those roots can't get through and spray it. We all want our trees to grow bigger, our plants to grow bigger, but if the roots don't spray it, then you don't get height and growth. So I never paid attention to how many things was just in the soil to keep that soil from being compacted, which tells me that there's so much other stuff I can add that might help my soil once it's been in a container for a long time. Every couple of years, I probably should add perlite and things of that nature to keep it aerated. It's just a good thing to know when you do the research. All right, we talked about the best potting soil to use. Kind of similar to raised bed soil, in-ground soil. Just do your research on it. But once you get that soil in there, no matter how good that soil start off, you have to keep adding nutrients and amendments to it because it's gonna break down over time. A lot of people are thinking about building soil in ground, but you can also build soil in your raised beds. You just gotta put in the work. every couple years, every year or two, put some more perlite in there, put some more manure after every season, or compost, whatever you want to call it, and just keep building up your soil over time. I heard Growing Out the Box call it, when he was talking about compost, your bank and withdrawing from the bank. Your soil the same way. Your soil is a soil bank. And you add nutrients, you take nutrients out, and it's just a cycle over time. The more nutrients you have in there, after withdrawal, your soil ain't broke. No pun intended. But it's all about building soil over time, whether it's in a raised bed, container, or whatever. Building soil. That's what it's all about. Now that I know most of the stuff in my soil that I buy is just broken down, composted things. So I can do that myself. I fill this whole Vigo raised bed up with composted stuff, with old tomato plants got put in there, old collard green stems that I pulled off, cardboard, all that. I might as well just compost it and make my own soil. Now that's not something I'm gonna be able to do in the next couple months, but over time, if I just use this bed for a compost bed and I keep filling it up, as that break down, I can use that compost in the soil. It's not much different from just doing that and adding perlite than most of the soils that are being sold in the store. We just talked about hardwood fines, pine fines, it's just forestry products. It's just broken down stuff, and you add perlite and a wetting agent, or rice hulls and a wetting agent, or vermiculite and a wetting agent. It's just composted, broken down stuff, and they add something to keep the soil from compacting and a wetting agent. Some of them don't even put a wetting agent in there. So if we're gonna start building our own soil, we're gonna read the labels, understand what they selling to us, and figure out how to do it ourselves. That is the plan. So now that I know forestry products, just compost, broken down timber and stuff like that, I'm gonna make a different version of it. And this version, all these plants in here, I fertilized, so it took nutrients. So as it break down, those nutrients gonna be in my compost. Go get some perlite, mix my own soil. Now this, let's be honest, this gonna take me a couple years before I get exactly what I want. But if I keep filling this over and over and over and letting it break down, eventually I'm gonna have good soil. And I think we get confused on the difference between soil and compost. To be honest, it's not that much difference. It's really not. Unless you're talking about cow manure compost or chicken manure compost. But it seems like the rest of it is just broken down into something else. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I need y'all to start composting and reading the back of the bags. I feel like we just putting stuff in our garden and we don't know what the hell it is. But we did a deep dive, and this should be just the beginning. I should have just scratched the surface in your mind on what's really in your pine soil. Also understand that in different states, different things are used in your potting soil. So we can buy the same Kellogg potting soil or the same Evergreen potting soil and then not have the same ingredients. So I need you to do your research and do your homework and know what's in your potting soil, because knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.